Aloha, welcome to Prophetchic on this November 2nd, Thursday. Some very prophetic events popping up very quickly. And before I get started, I'm going to start with this and end with this. It's my Alpha Omega point that God is not trying to scare us, but prepare us by giving us these signs, which are now happening not just on the front pages of your newspaper, but in the pages of the Bible. He warned us in Matthew 24 to be ready, be alert, be awake, and be about the Father's business. Number one, we know that tomorrow President Trump will be arriving here in the 50th state, in the Aloha state of Hawaii. There are 3 shutdowns of our highway here in the Aloha state to help host and welcome him. 3 of them being reported. You can look these up on the local media like staradvertiser.com, but here they are. Number 1 is from 2 to 3 p.m. from the H1 eastbound. He'll be coming in from Pearl Harbor area to Waikiki, where he's going to be staying with his wife and helping to feature us on the globe and bring a lot of attention. That's number 1 at 2 to 3 p.m. Then from westbound, he'll be going back to Pearl Harbor, from Waikiki back to Pearl Harbor from 4 to 5 p.m. And number 3, from 7 to 8 p.m., he returns from Pearl Harbor back to Waikiki. They'll be shutting down portions of the road from H1 all the way into Waikiki. Another thing happening coming up this weekend, it's Department of Defense has a planned simulated EMP blowout. It's going to be an electromagnetic pulse blast that is going to happen over the mainland continental United States of America. This is planned for November 4th through the 6th. By the way, November 4th, also a planned day of rage by Antifa. They're going to set off a bunch of riots. Antifa stands for Anti-First Amendment. These are the people you see on the news with all black, including face masks, bandanas. They look like paramilitary, like they're just these movie fake people, but they have very real violence. And we're going to be praying for protection for all of our first responders, the police forces and whatnot, as they plan a day of rage on Saturday, November 4th in all cities. We've heard this threat before. We can never take it lightly. And that's on Saturday. Also happening right now, item number 3, Russian President Vladimir Putin is visiting Iran, and while he's there made some extremely eye-opening statements. And this coming from the Jerusalem Journal. Number 1, President Putin in Tehran said he wants to promise regional stability and security. This is right out of the pages of the Bible that says in the last days they're going to be proclaiming peace and security, except he said regional stability and security. A little bit different, same concept. Second, he says that dismantling the nuclear deal, the Iran nuclear deal, is not acceptable. Now that, of course, refers back to Obama and the G7 nations that put together a really bad nuclear deal with Iran, basically gave them pallets full of money and nuclear armaments. Finally, President Putin also signaled he will support Iran against the United States, which is the fulfillment of a lot of scriptures, especially Ezekiel 38:39, where you see the polarization of 2 different countries and allies that are going to begin to attack each other, but really against Israel. And it's how do we take the United States out? Finally, not just this, but the next and last item I'm going to be reporting on this quick newscast today is that North Korea has suffered hundreds of deaths in their nuclear power plant where a tunnel fell in on October 10th. This is not getting any coverage in American media except from Fox News. They reported it happened on October 10th, and this is now November 2nd. It says that following reports of unusual wartime preparations in North Korea, as North Korea threatens war against the United States, and it claims it tested an H-bomb, a hydrogen bomb, and called it a perfect success. The blast was 10 times more powerful than the bombs set off in Japan in World War II, and it triggered a 6.3 magnitude earthquake. Now just think for a second, really fast, that Jesus warned there would be wars and rumors of wars, famines, and earthquakes. Earthquakes, not just the natural kind, but these are simulated by nuclear bombs that are detonated underground to test them. And this one triggered a 6.3 magnitude earthquake that led to hundreds of deaths of their own people. Interesting that Jesus could prophesy this over 2,000 years ago, but that's how good our God is. And as I often say, God is shaking us up and waking us up before he gets to taking us up in rapture. Don't be scared. Be prepared. By the way, one more thing. On Saturday, I'll be out at the Kaneohe Bayview Golf Course with a craft fair for hope. I'll be at a table selling, of course, and putting out the Spirit Speak book that is arming God's armies to speak the word of God boldly. That's one of the great commandments of Jesus, who said, heal the sick, raise the dead, cast out demons, give generously, and speak boldly. So Spirit Speak this Saturday at Bayview Golf Course in Kaneohe Bay from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'll see you there. God bless you, Godspeed, and keep praying for our nation and all of the nations. Aloha.